know what is what.
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is Cult of the Living Dead.
Oh man. Alright. Well, should we get into it? We already kind of started touching on the movie.
Do we have to?
Do it.
Hey, you wanted this, dude. You were like begging
Yeah,
for a
you're
horror
begging
movie.
for horror.
I was asking.
You gave a
really-
whole speech. You're like, guys, this has nothing to do with you. Like, I love watching all these like different genres of movies, but I need a horror right now. Like, I need it. And we're like, okay.
You spoke it into existence.
All right, the next time I'll speak some shit into the fucking ear.
The second you like suggest a movie that's not Pulse, we're gonna get Pulse. Watch.
Yeah,
Mm,
probably.
The wheel works
You have
against
to
us.
reverse psychology the wheel.
yeah.
I mean, I jinxed this too. I even said after Laugh at Brian, I was like, man, we've been getting some good ones. The Will's been so kind to us, and then we got this movie.
It wasn't the worst movie.
Oh no, I think you guys will be surprised by my grade at the end.
A.
Definitely not an A. Not an A movie. Not an A movie. But it's not like a
Not a D.
yeah, not a it's I don't hate it. I fucking hated the first movie. That movie, like, oh man. It was so bad.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Cult of the Living Dead. This week, we are covering our first sequel of the pod, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2.
Yeah.
As always, I'm your host, The Dale, followed by my two co-hosts, Mr. Saya
Hola.
and Twan.
What up?
Just a quick reminder for returning guests and first-time listeners. We are a cult movie podcast. We cover cult classics, B-movies, and horror. None of us are academically trained in film critique. All these opinions are subjective, and enjoy the ride. All right, so for our first sequel, I actually don't think we have too many sequels in general on the pod. We have some like spiritual sequels, like the Toretto trilogy. Cornetto, there's a Toretto, fucking Fast and Furious. Yeah, like the Cornetto trilogy and shit. But like, I think this is one of the rare direct sequels we have, and it's not really a sequel. I think it's more of like a reimagining. So this movie has a completely new director, which I didn't expect. It's directed by Reyes Frake Waterfield.
Reese?
Is it Reese?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot the S. Rye. All right. Reese Fake Waterfield. And he did Sky Monsters and Fire NATO. I've actually heard of Fire NATO.
I've heard of Fire NATO.
He also wrote the movie along with Maddie Leslie, who worked on Summer of '84 and If. And then our music was by Andrew Scott Bell. None of the stuff that any of these people were in, I've heard of. Like he did Home Sweet Home, Rocket, Powder Up. I've never heard of any of these movies.
Never heard of Home Sweet Home?
No. Do you guys know that one?
Nah.
Is that the Netflix one?
Maybe. The Home Sweet Home and Rocket actually have like pretty decent ratings on IMDb, so I'm guessing they're
Who are we talking about?
decent. Andrew Scott Bell, the music guy.
Mm.
So they changed Christopher Robin's character. So this time around, he's played by Scott Chambers. He was in Chicken and Dr. Jekyll. Doesn't this guy kind of look like Bilbo? I forget that actor's name. The dude from the MCU. I feel like they look related. I could just be like British, like racist, but like I feel like they look pretty similar to me.
Can you be racist against Brits?
Well, I'm kind of saying like they all look alike, even though they don't. But I feel like Scott Chambers and that guy look related, but I could be wrong.
He kind of looks like that Brian Keoghan guy.
Barry?
Who's that?
Barry.
Barry Keoghan. I can't even pronounce his name. He was from the Immortals and
Oh, that guy. Yeah. They got Vision? Oh no.
Vision. No,
No, the Immortals is that like Greek movie, right?
he was also in or Eternals, sorry. He was in Killing
Eternals.
Here. He was in Batman. He plays the Joker that you don't see behind a door. He's most recently in that movie Saltburn.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
He looks like kind of like a doofus.
He do
Yeah,
be
squinty eyed. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Some squinty eyed Irish
He looks like a
dude.
the UK version of Miles Teller.
Yeah, yeah, kind of.
look at pictures now. That's funny.
Oh man. We have Lexi, played by Tallulah Evans. Never heard of any of the movies she's been in. And then that's pretty much our only two like main characters in this whole movie.
What about Pooh?
Well, then I'll go through the killer. So we got Winnie the Pooh, who's played by Ryan Oliver.
Oh, it's like
Perfect.
you said Oliver in a fucking British accent. Oliver.
Oliver. We got Tigger, played by Louis Santer. He's also in Mouse of Horrors, which is like the killer version of Mickey Mouse, so that's cool.
And he's gonna be in Pinocchio.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Neverland horror.
I'll watch it.
Unstrung.
We have Piglet, played by Eddie McKenzie, who's also been in the Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, the one that just came out this year.
We should add that one to the list.
Dude, that one actually has like decent IMDb reviews. I think it has like a 6.7 or something.
Remember it, 6.2.
6.2. That's actually like pretty good
great
for this type of movie.
Yeah, because this one is 4.7.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nuts. Okay.
I mean, it's significantly better than the first one. And then we have Owl, played by Marcus. I don't know if it's Massey or Maisie.
Say it in a British accent and it'll make sense.
Marcus Massey.
Hey, he's the Cockney.
Again, all the UK guys, all the accents.
I feel like I've seen this guy before.
Dude, this guy was like, for a while, I was like, is this guy the main character? Like, Al was like such a prominent character in this whole movie.
Yeah.
Like, he was like the brains of the operation, which is cool because he is the brains of the operation in Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Also, where was Rabbit? I thought Rabbit was going to show up.
Didn't Rabbit die? They killed.
When?
Didn't they kill Rabbit and they talked about?
No, they
killed
ate
Eeyore.
Eeyore, that's who it was. My bad.
Maybe the rabbit wasn't in the budget.
Maybe he's going to be in the next one.
Kanga and Roo.
Oh, I forgot about Kanga and Roo.
Who the hell are they?
They're
kangaroos.
They're the kangaroos and the Joey.
Oh,
yeah, the mom is Kanga and then Joey's Roo.
That's right. I forgot about them completely.
Yeah. I also, sorry, I don't know if you watched the credits after the movie, but I did. And there's like 30 ravers and they're all raver, like right next to their name. It's raver, 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 raver. And it's like a stack of them.
That's funny.
I appreciate all the ravers being named.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That was such a like all the like raver kills.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely spared no
random. For sure.
It was random. It definitely felt like the director just like I want to see some titties. Like let's just put a bunch of half naked chicks in like a rave scene and have Winnie the Pooh just murder all these people for like no real reason other than the fact that like they're just like now they're on the offensive and they're just trying to murder the whole town, I guess.
Yeah. Young Winnie the Pooh is the child from the Pope's Exorcist, that movie with Russell Crowe when he goes up against a demon.
Oh, really?
Shit. Yeah,
nice.
The boy is from that movie.
Who Billy Pooh?
Billy Pooh.
Billy the Pooh?
Billy?
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't have Rabbit because the little sister's name was Bunny. They don't want to confuse the audience.
Maybe she was Rabbit.
Maybe
I thought that was gonna happen, but it didn't.
Maybe Rabbit's coming out in Winnie the Pooh
Part 3.
Return of the Poohing.
Blood and Honey 3. It's hopping season or it's hopping time.
What about it's pooing time?
The pooing.
They actually said it.
That was my favorite line in the whole movie.
Dude.
Like, pooing time.
He's all charged up with electricity.
This movie, man. This movie was so random.
Yeah, since it was a different director, you think that was a jab at the old director?
Maybe. Because like when I saw that, I'm like, is that them making fun of what was that movie that just came out, the Spider-Man movie that they kept saying? Is that where that line's from?
It's Morbin time.
Yeah, it's Morbin time. I thought it was like them they poking fun at Morbius.
Oh, probably, but like the whole like concept in general of like them watching the movie in this new universe.
Yeah, it was like Season of
Yeah.
the Witch. Like the Halloween exists, but it's really just a horror
Yeah.
movie.
hmm
I like the retcon. Before we get into to that whole aspect, what were your expectations going in, Saya? Because Twan cheated on us and he saw this movie already prior. I'm curious to hear how it was on a second watch through. But Saya, where were your expectations going in? I know mine's were higher than they
Talk
should have
first,
been
though. Just say it
because
first.
Twan was like, "Hey, this movie's the Evil Dead 2 of the Winnie the Pooh franchise." I was like, "Oh, okay, gonna be a banger." What were your expectations?
I didn't think it was going to be a banger. I just thought that they were going to redo the story that we saw the first time, just again, but with better like kills and better costumes and like all that shit. I was surprised at what they did though.
I think everything was better. The kills are
Yeah,
better, the costumes are better, the acting was better,
story was better.
the story was better. Although I'll get to the ending. I don't know how much, I don't really like that part of it, but other than that, I thought it was all better.
Yeah, it was.
How was the second watch, Twan?
It was like I said earlier, I was either I don't know. I was blitzed the first time I saw it because the second when I watched it again,
You're
I was
like,
like,
oh
damn,
no.
I don't remember any of this. Like it was like a whole new watch.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it was yeah, I was stepping into it fresh again.
Nice.
Whole new world.
Yeah.
The one thing I did miss, although I do like that the movie starts with the same kind of like narrator breaking down, like, oh, this is the story you thought about Winnie the Pooh, but this is what really happened. But I did miss the animations from the first movie. I really liked the animation, like backstory. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, same.
I mean, we got a little bit of well, we got some story
hmm
with animation. The fact that Christopher Robin is now like a doctor and
That's
that
right.
he's like
But
ostracized by
the
his
whole town hates
community.
them.
Yeah.
Well, I like that it doesn't say that the first one didn't happen. It says the first one did happen, and because the first one happened, people think that Christopher Robin's like a murderer, and then
Yeah.
it continues the story from there. So I like that it was it was that, and then we see later on like how why there's a change
Hmm.
in like quality and stuff like that. So I liked all of that. Thought
Yeah.
that
And I like how the way they retconned Christopher Robin 2 to be like he was never engaged. Like
Mm,
the people who died was like a group of teenagers. Like it wasn't like these like girls on like a girls trip because those are like fucking adults.
yeah.
Like they changed it like enough to make it make sense. Like because I was like wasn't he engaged? Like he immediately has like a new love interest. Like damn, Christopher Robin. Like who's got the Riz? That's why
getting it in.
I put Riz Robbins. If I had him named in my notes. So this is just immediately just pulls another girl after being like a murderer. But no, none of that happened. It was just, yeah. And then I like how they established that Christopher Robin didn't abandon Winnie the Pooh. Like Winnie the Pooh was like always kind of fucked up.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
like Christopher Robin was a kid, so he didn't realize he was fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't that like he abandoned his like friend when he went off to college or some shit.
Yeah, this one definitely had a lot more story and like world building and character development than the first one.
Yeah, definitely.
Way more.
And this guy was more believable, I feel like, as Christopher Robin than the first
Yeah.
guy.
I think it's just better acting. He
Yeah,
did a better job.
he was bad. I even wrote down, I'm like, this guy actually like wasn't bad in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he when he was freaking out, I believed it. When he was like being like a all shucks guy, I believed it. What would
Shout
you?
out that guy.
Yeah, he did good. Was it fucking Scott Chambers? He did pretty good. What'd you guys think of our introduction to Owl and like the rest of the new design of the characters? Because we kind of get that like right off the bat.
Pretty immediately. Well, I like that it opens up with a group kill.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Those kills were pretty gnarly too.
It was brutal, dude. He like broke that chick's arms and legs for like no reason.
For no reason,
Dude.
just to like immediately like crush her head with a bear trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about the suffering with these guys.
And then he's just like all swole. He's bigger than Saya out here just like lifting RVs.
Well, he's a bear,
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
and he's when we find out later, he's like a super bear.
Yeah, he's got all their strengths, none of their weaknesses. That's right. That was cool. And I liked the way how gross the chick looked. He like caught on fire. Like she
Yeah.
looked all bad, dude.
Yeah, she did.
She looked all kinds of fucked up.
And it was a really quick cut, but the head getting smashed in was also a nice touch.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Like the special effects I think were a lot better in this one.
Hmm.
Definitely.
And even though it was like kind of it looked like it had a splash of CGI when the chick gets pierced through the mouth with like a pole. I don't know what the fuck they stabbed her with.
Hmm.
The first kill out of the 3 girls.
It's like a stick.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like that looked pretty cool. They're like sticking out of her mouth and shit. I was like, oh, that looked crazy. Also, that was a sick ass camping spot. It's just like right next to like a little fucking like swimming hole.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
that's dope.
Looks like they were holed up there for a minute. And everyone in this fucking town, though, they all know that a murderer's on the loose, or and like they still like to go out and do outdoor activities. I don't
I
know.
think that's
They-
like people in general.
Yeah.
Like they never think like, oh, it's not gonna happen to me, or they don't like believe because like what they say, like most of the town thought Christopher Robin was like insane, and then like a small group of people like actually believed him.
but still, I don't know if there was like mass murders that just happened in my town. I wouldn't want to be out at night.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't go into the woods. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. No. Yeah, we also find out that it's in a town called Ashwood. I don't know if that's canon in Winnie the Pooh lore,
That's a good question. I don't know either.
or if that's an actual town.
But I did appreciate the new character designs. And I thought Owl was genuinely like how do I say it? Like a threatening presence.
Yeah. He was.
Like the guy who played him did a pretty good job.
It
He
threw me off
sounded creepy.
that they like immediately started talking.
Yeah, me too. I was like, oh, they talk in this one.
Yeah, compared to the first one, because the first one they don't speak. The second one it opens up with Owl talking.
Owl being like,
Yeah.
we're gonna get our fucking revenge. They think we're abominations. I'll show you an abomination. And like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I was like ready to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah, when this first happens, I thought that maybe Owl was the only one that could talk because
I
I don't know, because he was the smartest.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
I thought the same thing. But then I like how they like kind of tease like that Tigger's like all crazy because they have him like locked up for some reason.
Well, in the animation, if you look closely, you can see that Tigger's in a straitjacket.
He's just a crazy fool.
Yeah, so he's always been crazy, I guess.
That is true. I mean, he bounces on his tail like a fucking maniac.
Yeah,
Tigger was cool though. Tigger was when we see him later. He has the most one-liners. He was saying some like wild shit in this movie.
He reminded me of the guy from Rick and Morty, the fucking scissor hands guy, the knife hands guy.
oh,
I forget his name. I know what you're talking about though. Yeah, he does have those
Scary
vibes.
Terry.
Gary Terry.
Scary Terry. Yeah.
Kill you, bitch. And like he just, like says that for like no reason. That's what Tigger reminded me of.
He did have those
Yeah.
vibes. Yeah.
He did call everyone a bitch.
He did. He was mad edgy for no reason.
Yeah.
He was all kinds of edgy.
Absolutely no reason. He just was.
He's like, I'll slice you. I don't give a fuck. It's
Yeah.
like, whoa, Tigger, relax, dude.
For real. He was going off.
I do like the talking about the lore. How when we get introduced to like Christopher Robin, like how like not only did they say that he's ostracized, but like how ostracized he is. Also, he has a when he see we see his sweet ass station wagon. That car was actually like kind of sick.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
It was cool.
Then people like spray
It
painted
was
murder
clean.
on it and shit. Yeah, dude, those rims. I was like, damn, this car is nice. I'm like, who on set owned this car? And they're like, hey, can we use your car for the movie? I don't know like how expensive like psychologists are, but he's like the psychologist is like a fucking hypnotist, like pro and shit. Like that was pretty random. What'd you guys think of him being like hypnotized? Because that was like a pretty big focal point of like the storytelling.
It's a form of therapy. People, people, people try things, help them out.
Well, you're our resident psychologist.
That's saying a lot too. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was fine. I just thought it was to help like push the story forward. I like that.
Yeah, what'd you think of it as like a plot device?
I think as like as a plot point, as a plot device, it definitely helped because he was trying to look back into his childhood, and that helped us understand kind of a little bit more of the poo of the poo, the
The
poo,
Pooverse?
the
The
poovers,
Pooniverse.
the poo, the poon, the poo.
Mhm.
I thought that was a pretty cool way of like giving us background information without like cutting up the scenes and being like, oh, like 30 years later, earlier this happened. It was kind of like, oh, during his therapy
Mm.
sessions, we get like kind of understanding of why he's all fucked up and like his relationship with Winnie the Pooh and all that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. As like a plot point, it was cool.
Definitely added another layer to the story.
Yeah, they definitely tried way more, I feel like, in this movie to actually have like a coherent plot and to like put something together. I felt like the first movie really just felt like bad acting and just like Winnie the Pooh and Piglet just murdering people.
Yeah,
Speaking of Piglet, I did not expect Piglet to just get murked within like the first 15 minutes of this movie, dude.
instantly,
Yeah.
instant death for Piglet.
Head blown clean the fuck off.
Or
All right,
fucking shotgun to the dome.
that guy was
Yeah.
gone.
That was cool. I was like, okay, so like they're not like invincible like it felt like in the first movie.
Yeah,
Well, in the, yeah, I guess they were pretty invincible. I was trying to think of when in the first one did they like fight people with actual weapons, but they fought those like hillbilly dudes
hmm
when Pooh released his bees.
Not the bees. That's right. I forgot about the bees. Forgot about his bee abilities.
I forget about the bees, brother.
That shit was wild. That's right. I forgot about that. I do like how Al's just like a fucking menace and he just like swoops in and just like murders people like he's like all fast.
Super fast for like, I mean, not no reason. He's an owl.
He's a big ass owl. Yeah, he's like a man-sized owl.
Yeah,
He reminded me of the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers.
Dude, I was just especially when he
Yeah.
grabs the dad when they're like bird
Yeah.
watching. That's exactly what I thought of. But dude, I gotta admit, like one of my favorite kills in this movie for sure is when was it Pooh and he grabs that dude's shotgun after he kills Piglet and he like stabs him in the fucking like bottom of his head through the top of his skull. I was like,
Yeah.
that was cool. That was like unique. I've never seen anybody get murdered that way in a movie before.
hmm
Yeah, it's crazy too because that guy had enough in him left after getting a shotgun put through his head to say "fuck you" to
Yeah.
Pooh.
This movie's edgy for sure.
Oh, I thought that was Pooh saying "fuck you."
No, he says he's
No,
like,
it was
"Fuck
him."
you."
Yeah.
That dude that got the shotgun to the face that like survived, they made him look all fucked up too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the friend.
Yeah, the friend. The special effects department did a good job in this movie.
They did.
They did.
You guys know who did the special effects or the practical effects?
No, I didn't look it up.
Makeup department. Paula Ann Booker Harrison. Special makeup effect artist Nate Bright. Makeup artist
They
Tequila Carter.
What a
damn
name.
tequila.
Prosthetic designer Shawn Harrison. Special
Oh.
makeup artist Samantha Jack. Prosthetic technician Kyle. What a name, Kyle but the way it's spelled, Kayhle, Kale Jackson Price. Special effect makeup artist Rebecca Wheeler, Mark Wilkins, and Paul Wilkins.
Nice.
Shout out those people.
Shout out all
They
these.
did a bang up job.
Fuck yeah, they did. They did a great job with the makeup in this movie.
It looks like they also are doing or have done the stuff for Peter Pan and Pinocchio.
Oh, sick.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of these like actors and like the crew and stuff are all like on these like Poohiverse movies.
Yeah.
I mean that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess it does, huh? I wonder if they're all made by the same like production company.
Oh, maybe. Like the same you said it, producer, same producer.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
the Blumhouse of the Poohiverse.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, because when they showed the production company, I think it was Winnie the Pooh,
The Pooh House.
Pooh House, the house that Pooh built.
Hey, pretty much. If they were able to start their own production company after the first one,
Scott Chambers is actually a producer of
Oh,
this.
really?
Yeah. So is Reese, the director. He's a producer. Nicole and Carlos, are they actors as well? Trying to look. No, they're not. They're just other folks. But I mean, they're all connected, so really cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. All right, so this is the part in the movie that like I didn't dig too much. Like I like the killing and stuff, and I like the use of like hypnosis as like a plot device. I don't under. I guess it's like to help us sympathize with Winnie the Pooh, but the whole like Christopher Robin had a little brother who got like kidnapped at his like birthday party. And then like shortly after that, Winnie the Pooh shows up, and Winnie the Pooh was always like eating animals and shit. Which is like, I don't know if that makes him evil so much as that just makes him a bear. Like, what do you expect a bear to eat? But
yeah.
the whole like his brother being kidnapped like subplot, I thought was I don't know, I didn't really like it too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand why they did it. After we find out about everything, but yeah, it was just one of those things. Like it felt like too many layers. They were trying to get too deep for the type of movie that it was.
Yeah, it was like a kidnapping, and then it turns into like the island of Dr. Monroe
Yeah.
out of nowhere. I mean, like it wasn't like horrible per se, but I was just kind of like, oh, that was an interesting twist. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Like I would have just been like, I know Winnie the Pooh, I'll just believe that there's magical bears, I guess. Maybe that was, but like they grounded it. They try to make it make sense, I guess.
I like a good grounding story sometimes. I do think that this one was a little bit clustered though.
Yeah, definitely. Like they had ideas and they kind of just like they ironed him out. Like I'll admit, like they ironed him out and they like connected it to the story as a whole. But I feel like in the end, him being like Billy, like and then like him being kidnapped and all that didn't really play too big of a part in the end of the movie. Like you think that usually would when you do these kind of connections.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of was just used as like a plot device to explain like Winnie the Pooh, really.
The why behind everything.
The why, yeah.
Yeah. Like why they were crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of their hideout? The fucking world's biggest tree.
That's also where Tigger is like
Locked up, dude. That
locked up,
tree's
right?
just
Like
like
the tree's so big that they have their own jail cell in there.
another fucking house I'll never afford, dude.
Yeah.
The square footage on that tree was wild.
The 100-acre wood has some crazy stuff, dude.
Like that tree was big. Like when the cops get in there, they're just like, "What the fuck is all this?" It's like chopped up bodies and shit. I was like, "Damn, dude, that fucking tree is roomy."
Yeah.
Like, why weren't they living with Al the entire time if he had all that square footage? He's just staying with Tigger, just having him in his like little gimp cage, just like not letting anybody come visit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny. Also, like, how did the police department not realize that like 3 cops like were just like murdered? Like nothing like you would think the town would be like on high alert if that shit happened.
You would.
Do they call them cops or they call them constables? I forget what they call them in the UK.
I think they're still cops. What is a constable?
Thought it was a
Maybe
cop.
like a detective.
Maybe it's a lawyer.
What is a
Oh,
A constable is a public official who works with law enforcement to keep the peace and perform minor judicial duties.
duties.
Constables may enforce civil laws, serve subpoenas, and evict tenants. They may also seize property, while police officers enforce criminal and traffic laws. So
Interesting.
they're different.
Hmm.
Oh, and then constables are elected officials, and police officers are
Just it's a job.
the person that you bullied in high school and then became a police officer.
No, isn't it the opposite? Isn't it the bully that becomes a cop usually?
Sometimes. Depends.
Because usually people that get bullied in high school don't really have the physique to be like a cop. But man, dude, this fucking movie flies by at like lightning pace. I feel like by the time the cops get killed in like their hideout, like 45 minutes have already passed by.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the
Yeah,
movie
it's
it's only an hour and a half.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's an hour and a half. It's not like super long. But like everything like is cut up between like you get like murder scene, little bit of story, murder scene, longer bit of story, murder scene.
Yeah.
And it just seems like, and then like Winnie
Yeah.
the Pooh's the Pooh group. I don't know what the fuck they're called. Pooh and friends.
I like the Pooh group.
Like they just start like murdering people in like the most random places. Like it goes from like them being in the forest to
Yeah.
them just being like, all right, fuck it. We're gonna like after they kill the cops, they're like, all right, no going back now. Let's just invade the town and just start like murdering everybody we see.
Pooh group, dude. They got no laws.
No only law is murder. Fucking Mad Max rules.
Yeah, and this is the first time that we see Tigger. He gets unleashed on the cops.
That's right. That's right. And even then, they only give us like a little tidbit. Like we don't see the
Yeah.
full on Tigger until the rave.
I like how they made Tigger this like I don't know, this mysterious
Scary Terry.
figure. Yeah. Like oh no, here comes the big bad out of all the big bads.
I mean, he is a tiger, so I guess I could see why he'd be like the most terrifying.
Yeah.
True.
He's a tiger that can bounce on his tail.
I guess in general, like thinking about it, Winnie the Pooh has a fucking tiger in the middle of the forest.
Yeah, that's wild, dude. In the middle of the forest in England, like there's tigers don't live in England.
That is pretty crazy.
But imagine you're just like in the English countryside, you just see a fucking tiger in the middle of the wood. You'd be like, what the fuck?
Bouncing around.
On his tail, yeah, bouncing around on his tail. In a fucking straight jacket, just looking like a straight maniac.
And we find out that he can bounce really fucking fast on his tail too.
And
Because there's a scene where Owl is flying, and you can kind of hear a bouncy noise. So it's like Owl and Tigger are both zooming somewhere. I forgot
That's
where
right.
they're zooming to. I think the rave.
Mhm.
They're going
Yeah.
at fucking like lightning speed.
Yeah, they got the zoomies. Like Owl especially is like mad fast. Cause like we see when after like Pooh tries to kill like his love interest, like Owl's following her van and he's like faster than the van is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like pretty fast.
Hell,
He's moving faster than a car. That's one thing though about Pooh that like he has like they're all fast as fuck. Like how does he get I mean we don't know how close it is, but how does he get from like the girlfriend's babysitting this kid to the rave like in a matter of minutes?
Well, we get to see how fast Pooh is when he goes on all fours.
Oh, that's right. And he sprints down the hallway.
Yeah, so he's got some speed to him, like a regular bear. I think they can hit what, like 45 miles per hour.
Yeah, they're as fast as a horse. I know that much.
Yeah.
and bear.
So maybe they needed to kill off Piglet because he was just dead weight. I mean, they're all fast. And
35.
imagine if Piglet was still around. Damn, 35? That's still
He's
pretty
a
fast.
big.
Yeah.
That's fucked
Yeah,
up.
dude. Like they had to get rid of him.
How fast does a pig go?
Grizzly bears can run 35. A black bear runs up to 30. How
Pretty fast.
and
That's fast, yeah.
pigs can run up to 11 miles an hour.
Okay.
Wild boars can go around 15 miles an hour.
Okay, so they're like faster than like the average person. I think the average person's like 11 miles an hour.
Yeah.
can tigers run?
Tigers are fast as
Fuck.
fuck.
30 to 40 miles per hour.
I
Only
think
40?
giraffes can run 40 miles an hour.
How fast?
Just Googling how fast some certain animals. This fucking David Attenborough.
37 miles per hour.
Yeah, dude, giraffes are
Fucking
quick.
crazy,
They're,
dude.
That's
they're
pretty
fast as
fast.
fuck.
For as big as they are, that's pretty fast.
Love that shit.
That's kind of wild.
Ask something else. What kind of animal?
How fast can an owl fly?
How fast?
Ooh.
10 to 50 miles per hour.
10 to 50?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
As
That's a-
slow as 10 up to 50.
That's a big discrepancy. I guess it depends on the owl, huh?
Depends on how
Maybe
like,
when they're
find out.
diving,
Mm,
That may be.
dive bombing.
it does say depending on the species and situation.
Okay. Still, 50's fast.
Barn
Yeah.
owls are known for their slow motion flight technique where they fly slowly and buoyantly while they search for prey, and then they fly really fast in a straight line.
That's,
Damn, imagine being buoyant in the air.
That'd be
That's
dope,
kinda-
dude.
that's
Dope.
kind of wild to think about, huh?
Like floating in the air.
All hollow.
I wish my bones were hollow. I'd be really buoyant.
Yeah, and then until you like fell and then you'd like break your bones like immediately. Damn, did you guys see yourselves in that kid that the girl was babysitting because he's like addicted and like obsessed with horror films? It was like is that like a little Twan back in the day, just running around with like a fucking hockey mask, just stabbing people with a fake knife.
Yeah.
Dude, I almost got expelled from my Neds because I brought a fake knife and a fake gun. I was Leon for Halloween.
Fuck yeah, this is fucking just shanking everyone on the playground.
I needed my tools, man.
My,
Fuck.
I couldn't complete the costume without them.
my tools.
My tools. That kid was fucking wild.
Yeah.
And this is where we get the official retcon, right? Because they're
Yeah.
watching the first movie while she's babysitting him.
Mhm.
And it's like a reenactment or like a dramatization of what actually happened to Christopher Robin. He's like, oh, that shit was bullshit. Like, that's not how it actually happened.
And I really like that too. So that means that what we saw was the movie
Yeah.
in the Pooh.
Yeah.
In the Poohverse.
I like it. I like it when movies do that.
Yeah, that was cool. I appreciated that.
Like Season of the Witch, Halloween is technically a movie in that world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's sweet. I'm like, that's a good way of like being like, yeah, this is a sequel, but it's really number one.
Mm-hmm.
Like the movie that you watched was just the movie.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it made it make sense for
Mhm.
me.
It did. Yeah.
I was like, okay. And then it gave them the ability to kind of do whatever the fuck they wanted with the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the grand revelation that his brother Billy was kidnapped by the janitor who works at the fucking hospital and like keeps stalking the older brother of the kid that he kidnapped for some reason? And we find out
Guilt.
that the kid was given over to some doctor because the doctor got away his gambling debts and he was experimenting on the children and turning them into animorphs. And then they just fucking get Winnie the Pooh and all the other people
Got pooed, dude. Got
I
pooed.
don't know, man.
got pooed. Got pooed on.
What a wild chain of events.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that kind of, I was like, this, it jumped the shark a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit when they like Dr. Monroe the like the whole story. I was like, I'm like, okay, I guess. Like you had to explain it somehow. Like, I guess this is a way to explain it. I don't know if it's a way I would choose, but
Yeah.
it was cool.
I mean, it made sense, you know?
Yeah, it made sense.
It did.
But it was just like a little like,
It was,
And then
it
the
was a
dude
bit
just, like-
much.
fucking murders himself, just suicided.
Bro, it's that guilt. That guilt was just he was carrying that guilt, and then his wife left him when she found out. So he was
Took the kids.
just waiting for the moment for Christopher Robin to
Figure out.
pay him a visit.
He wanted to get caught.
Yeah, I knew he was going to do something. I just didn't understand what he was like doing because he's sitting there and he's like talking and kind of getting ready to do something.
Yeah,
And of course, he just offs himself.
Also, I felt kind of bad that he wrote like this whole long note, and then his like brain bloods just got all over the notes. Now it's like unreadable. It's like, damn, dude, you wrote all that confession for nothing. I know we could be able to read that now.
Yeah.
And then Christopher Robin, he just like takes the gun and like all the evidence is covered in blood. Be like, Dick, everyone already thinks you're a murderer. You're just gonna bring the suicide weapon?
Well, Pooh is already causing Pooh stuff.
Well, I guess that's true. It's like because like I don't even know like what he go threaten him with. Like he's like, I'll fucking kill you. I'm like, what is that? Like, what is in your hand? What were you gonna hit him with?
Piece of metal.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Like this, he just picked up some scrap metal and he was like gonna just beat him with the piece of fucking aluminum or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't really think that one through.
Were you expecting his parents to get murdered?
No.
I wasn't either.
No. In the way the mom got murdered, that was a callback to earlier in the movie.
Yeah, the foreshadowing
I guess we
Yeah.
did get foreshadowed, but I didn't think it was going to be like an actual thing.
thing.
Like I don't know. For some reason, I didn't expect him to die. I mean, in general, I didn't expect this movie to do what it did, and it literally just unleashed Pooh into like
Suburbia.
the suburbs.
Yeah.
So this movie definitely went places.
That foreshadowing made me like I didn't have a dishwasher that worked growing up. We had a dishwasher, but we never used it. I don't know why. But when I saw the way she loaded those knives, I was like, is that the way you're supposed to load those? Like that seems wrong.
No,
It was the kid. She was like, Bunny, she needs to learn how to load the knives. The mom makes a small comment on it in the very beginning. That the daughter the reason why the knives are like that is because of the daughter. But even still, like, why is this little girl putting knives away?
Like there's a lot of knives too.
And what the fuck are they cooking where they need to use all those chef's knives? Like,
Yeah, why do you have
normally
5 chef's knives?
you normally just need one for the whole meal.
yeah,
We have the good one, and then you have like the backup one.
Yeah.
But like you don't have 5. Like what she teaches culinary school? It's like a side gig? Like what was I thought the same thing.
People do that. They hold cooking classes in their at their homes.
That's true.
It wouldn't be the craziest thing, but yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
That was a lot of chef's knives for no reason. We don't even see how the dad dies. How we just know he dies.
They show a quick flash, and it looked like he got dismembered.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Because we hear him go downstairs, and then he goes and then like that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The only one we see is the mom. And the mom just gets completely wrecked.
Dude, everyone in this movie too has like just mad durability because she's still yelling, but she has like knives like pierced into her fucking head and face.
Yeah, that's funny you say that because I was thinking that in a later scene, someone gets decapitated and they're still yelling as the knife is already like more than halfway through like their esophagus, and they're still yelling. And I was like, damn, these people have like mad durability. Like they're living through all of this shit.
I mean, the guy says "fuck you" with like a shotgun barrel sticking out the top of his head. Like, how the fuck does that happen?
Yeah.
It's just built different over there in England.
I guess, dude, all that unsalted food and shit.
All that's fucking beans and mash.
Fucking all that haggis.
Oh, and fucking peas on fries. Peas and chips.
Is that a thing? They put peas on fries?
Yeah, they put so fries with gravy and peas. That's like a staple for them. It's like stadium food. It's like their version of chili cheese fries.
I mean, I'd try it. It just sounds like a worse version of poutine. It's like we're not gonna put cheese on it. Put peas on it. It's like with something Saya has to order, all being all fucking lactose.
Mashed peas.
It's mashed peas.
The fuck. Lactose meal. Yeah, I guess there's no dairy
all
in
that fiber, dude, just to counteract the carbs.
Give it to me.
Give it to me. I'd try it, but that sounds not that good.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
Sounds exquisite.
And then we get to like the climactic like murder sequence, the fucking rave.
Yep.
This came
This
out of
part was
rave.
cool. The rave was cool. I was like, damn, it looks fun. It's like in a random warehouse underneath. It looked like they somehow got like like a maintenance whole building because it was like underneath a bridge or overpass. It looked
Yeah.
like how the I was like, how did they get this? This is not owned by the city. But anyways, they fucking that rave was sick. It looked cool.
They have secret raves all over the place.
Yeah, they do.
Old rundown warehouses and like in places inside of structures.
Under bridges.
Under
Mhm.
bridges. I mean, it looked cool. Looked like they were having a good time. I was not, even though they kept mentioning the rave, I did not expect it to be like a part, like the main killing part of the movie.
Yeah.
I didn't see how, like, plot wise, it made sense for them to end up there, especially after Christopher Robin got like uninvited for like bringing down bad vibes because nobody likes him.
Yeah.
No one wants a murderer at the rave.
But the kills are cool. They spared no expense. This is kind of them getting in their murder bag.
Murder.
Yeah. They had so much to play with.
I liked when was it Tigger when he's like stabbing the chick's feet under the grate.
Yeah.
How did she survive for so long? I have to say it as a fellow Bigan, she should have died so much quicker.
He got mad stamina, dude. The adrenaline was pumping.
Everyone's durability is just maxed out in this world.
And how did nobody escape? Like that place was huge.
That's what I was thinking too, because in the beginning, people are running away, and it doesn't seem like there's that many people in the area where everyone first gets murdered. But when Christopher Robin walks in, there's just bodies on the floor everywhere. Like it looked like a lot more people left. Like it looked empty. But
It
then,
reminded me of what was VHS
Mhm.
with the Bollywood one where the chick's like a robot and she murders like the whole set. That's what it
Yeah.
kind of looked like when he walked in because there's just bodies everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pooh just went. He just went off.
Him and
Just-
Tigger just went on a murder spree.
Where was Owl the whole time?
He was following the chick,
Flying around.
Oh yeah, that's right.
and then we don't see him. Like literally, he says something while he's flying over her, and then we don't see Al until the mid credit scene. Like he's
Hmm.
gone from the movie for like the last 15, 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
And then we just get cuts of fucking Pooh just murdering people with a spiked bat, like Tigger calling everyone a bitch, and just like shanking people with his claws. Is he the one that stabs the girl in the throat? Or is that Pooh?
I think that's Pooh because he like beheads her from the back of her head.
And while she's still screaming.
Yeah.
That's right. Damn, what about that girl that he blinds? And then he just like chases her around until she falls down that like maintenance hole.
That was what reminded me of Scary Terry. When he like, cause he's like talking shit to her as she's like
Yeah.
falling.
Yeah, he's like mad talking shit. Like he tells the fat chick, he's like, dance, bitch. And then he just starts like stabbing her through the grates. It's like, oh fuck. I was like, dude, I wrote down like, what the fuck? Why is Tigger so like such a dick?
Why is he so mean?
Like Winnie the Pooh doesn't really say anything the whole movie, but
Oh.
Tigger and Al are just like talking nonstop.
Yeah, I think Tigger, I mean he's there I think as like like a fan service for violence and like all that like horror stuff, but his character kind of annoyed me. Like
Yeah.
something about like just overly talking shit like for no reason.
Yeah.
You've already murdered like a whole like rave. I don't know, it pulled me out, and but then I also remember of what we were watching, and so it was like, okay, this is supposed to be more of like a comedy horror.
Well, I expected him
Or-
because of the way they set him up, like being like locked behind like that fucking heavy metal door. Like I thought he was gonna be like this vicious like animal that they can't really even control, and they're gonna release him, and he was just gonna go all ballistic on everybody.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he just ended up just being like them. Like why was he being locked up? Like it didn't really like seem like he just talked shit, but he wasn't that much more vicious than Pooh was.
Yeah.
True.
I guess he seemed to like get more pleasure in the killing, where Pooh was just like murdering people. Like
Yeah.
Tigger was kind of playing with his prey,
Yeah.
but I expected him to be more like crazy, like the more animalistic of the bunch. But I don't feel like that really happened. If anything, I felt like he had the most personality.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean the like the pinnacle of his like madness was him just scratching up people.
Hmm.
Like he
Yeah.
just scratched that girl in half, which I feel like is one of the more vicious kills.
Yeah, that was cool. Or that dude that just jumps into an incinerator for fucking God knows what reason.
It's a good place to hide.
Yeah, who finds him like immediately?
Yeah, I know. As soon as he walks by, he's like, "Oh, there's a guy in here. Let me just turn this on."
And then the friend just gets her. A lot of people get their head ripped off in this movie.
Yeah,
The signature move.
a lot of beheadings.
Hmm.
Like that's how the friend that threw the rave died, right? Who just like unceremoniously just like rips her head off.
Yeah.
And then we get the final shot. I like how the gun, even though the guy only used one bullet on himself, Christopher Robin shoots it like 2 times and is immediately out of ammo.
Maybe he only had 3 bullets.
Maybe, huh? I mean, it's hard to get a gun in like the UK, so maybe. Did Ticker die? Because he
True.
shoots him in the stomach and he just like, oh, and he just like runs away.
No, he just runs.
But he didn't die, right? He like survived.
I would
I think he
imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then where did Pooh get that chainsaw at?
It was just
He
chilling.
found it. Yeah.
When he hears Christopher Robin walking up, he like looks around and he grabs the chainsaw off of the table and then he goes and he becomes Chainsaw Man.
I wrote that Christopher Robin is fighting Winnie the Pooh with a bit of wood.
Thought it was
What?
I thought it was a pipe.
It looked like a bit of wood to me.
I thought it was a pipe. Also, how did Winnie the Pooh's chainsaw catch on fire?
I don't know. I was like, why I even wrote that down? I'm like, oh shit, it's on fire, dude. This is fucking metal.
Yeah.
Like on
Yeah.
fire for no reason.
Yeah, he went to go attack Christopher Robin and he ended up hitting the car's gas tank, which I don't know if that's how things work, but yeah, chainsaw to gas tank equals flaming chainsaw.
It's like maybe like he hit the gas and then like the metal hit the metal, so it caused like a spark. So then it lit
Yeah.
the gas on fire. I don't
There
know.
you go. There
If
you go.
If you're like a pyrotechnic guy, like shout off in the comments if that's even possible. Get MythBusters on the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like that. I was like, okay, this is literally just for like showmanship.
I mean, it was cool.
It was cool. I was expecting his girlfriend to like hit Pooh out of shadows with the van, but that didn't happen.
That would have been funny. But no,
Dodge this and then just hit him.
we didn't
Damn.
do that.
Then she finds him because she like has his like has her on like my Find My Phone app, huh?
Find My? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that comes in
They're
clutch.
tracking each other.
Yeah.
Tracking each other, and they're not boyfriend and girlfriend. Okay,
What's it called? Sharing locations.
yeah, they're sharing locations.
Yeah.
That was a big. It was a. This movie was just endorsed by Big Brother. That's all. And then another like contrivance. Like he's murdered everybody instantly, but like he's just choking his girlfriend, which gives Christopher Robin enough time to like get an axe and just like cut his fucking head in half.
I think he wanted to do that. He wanted to play with Christopher Robin a little bit.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. I mean, he hesitated multiple times because right before isn't it before that when he has like a really like introspective moment and we get like character building from Winnie the Pooh and like,
Because he calls him Billy.
yeah, and he sees
Oh
himself
yeah.
as a child and he just starts like,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and then the girlfriend
Winnie
shows
Pooh.
up and then he chokes the girlfriend.
Like, well, I guess it's time to choke a bitch.
I do like that the one line that we get is a Winnie the Pooh line though.
Yeah.
That was satisfying.
What was it? I forgot.
Oh brother.
Oh bother.
Oh,
Brother.
that's right. And then he gets the axe at the dump.
Yeah.
He says bother in Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, he
Oh
says-
bother.
oh, I thought he said brother.
Oh,
It said brother on my screen.
yeah,
Really?
brother.
Oh brother. I always thought he said oh brother.
Nah, because he's
Bother. No, yeah,
British.
they say oh bother.
Oh bother.
Maybe he is saying brother, but just with our American ears, we can't hear the R. And then the honey shows up. I was like, dude, there's a lot of blood, but there's no honey in this fucking movie. And then, yeah, because Al's bringing Pooh back by rubbing honey on his little boo boo and using the power of friendship to like bring Piglet and Pooh back to life for the threequel.
When the fuck did that happen?
It's right at the end of the like
it's
credits.
like it's a mid credit scene.
The mid credit scene.
As soon as you saw
Damn.
the credits, you were like, "Fuck this movie!" You just turned it off.
Dude,
I didn't even know there was a
wild.
mid credit scene. That's
like
it was the song. The song.
Do you guys watch the credits typically?
Once it's like the regular like credits with the white lettering and the black, then I usually turn it off unless it's a Marvel movie.
Oh.
Or if I'm in theaters and that happens, I'll Google, does this movie have a post credit scene? And if the answer is no, then I'll leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for that one, I stood because I wrote, I'm like, what the fuck happened to Owl?
Mm-hmm.
Like, are they going to explain it? And so I was expecting them to set up like a sequel because these movies, like, I'm like, was Owl going to be the main bad guy? And Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 3, it doesn't have Winnie the Pooh in it. And then they show him like he's just sitting there like all fucking dead. And Owl was like, forget you, Christopher Robin. One thing you don't realize about us is that we're held together with the power of friendship. And he's like, and then you see that Piglet's head is starting to grow back, and he's like putting like
honey.
Putting
That's
honey
insane.
on it.
Yeah.
The honey
I
has
have to watch it.
Plus friendship makes regeneration powers.
Damn, wild.
So you didn't see all those like crazy ass drawings that they had at the end credits for no reason?
Those were really cool.
Because the fucking I don't know, whatever song was playing started playing, and I was like, God damn, this sucks. Off.
That's right. It did end on with some random like indie song. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I was like, whose homie is this that they put on the movie right now? I forgot about that song.
That's funny.
Yeah, dude, watch it after the stream. It like sets up a threequel, and those drawings are crazy. It's just like they're random, just like Winnie the Pooh and crew, like in different. Like, isn't he? I think he's riding a horse, like with holding a head in one point. It's like it's real weird shit.
To me, it looked like that was the like the storyboard of
concept art.
Like concept, yeah, trying to figure out like how they were gonna do the movie.
It was cool.
Yeah,
I like that. It was random, but it was sick.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. That's the way the cookie crumbles on this one.
What a fucking ride, bro!
Yeah,
it was a ride. We kind of went through it pretty quick, but
well, I mean, it was a quick movie. It's only like an hour and a half, so it wasn't long.
It was a quick movie, and like, yeah, I feel like there was substance and stuff, but it wasn't like it's not a Eraserhead where there's like so much going on that you need to like fucking go scene by scene to even try to make sense. It was like a pretty digestible plot.
Yeah, I did enjoy like the character development that they did end up doing. Like, I thought that for what it was I think that it was okay. And I think that part though added to the length of the movie. I think if you were to cut that out, the movie probably would have been like half of the time that it was, because I think we spend a lot of time with Christopher Robin figuring out like about his brother and all that shit, and then even the Pooh scene where Pooh sees his younger self and he flashes back to young Pooh for a little bit. That's like, it's like a minute, maybe like a minute and a half of time. So they definitely spent more time trying to like push out and develop these characters, which was one thing that I complained about last time. That I was like, there's no fucking character development, like there's nothing. We don't get anything about these fucking characters. But hilariously, it makes sense because in this movie, that movie that we saw the first time was a horror movie, and like historically horror movies don't like,
and a bad horror movie. They even say it in the movie.
Yeah, bad horror movie, and like historically bad horror movies don't get any character development. So kind of funny that they like threw all that in. I'm sure that like those people are probably like movie nerds and they like knew about that. You know what I mean? I for sure think, I mean, that's like my headcanon. They know what they were doing. When they did this movie.
Well, I think I had a similar comment when we were talking about like the lack of character development, and I was like, I don't understand why this movie is following like a bunch of random chicks on a girls trip when it's Winnie the Pooh. Like, the movie should revolve around his relationship with Christopher Robin. Like, that's the whole point of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
You should just kill the girls on a girl trip in the beginning to establish like the murders,
Yeah.
and then you get into the Christopher Robin story, and that's exactly what they did in this movie.
Literally,
Yeah.
all the girls get murdered in the beginning, and then the movie starts. Also, the in the beginning, I don't know if you noticed this, but the black person is the first person to die in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They fell into that trope.
it's not just an American thing; it's a UK thing too.
I think it's an everywhere thing.
But a black person's also the last person to die in this movie. The friend who gets her head ripped off.
Ooh.
Well, I guess technically Pooh, but I don't know if you count Pooh as a person.
I mean, it's Billy.
Is it though?
He responded to Billy.
He did respond to Billy.
But it just made him like look, and it was like him looking at his younger self and him being like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm not Billy anymore."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pooh.
I saw the ending and the drawings.
Oh,
Those
you did?
were those are
Watch right
really
now.
fucking cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the drawings are sick.
It had the Pinocchio, the
Yeah,
Peter
that
Pan.
was cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Those drawings, and the reason why I like this movie more than the first one kind of makes me want to watch the Peter Pan one now.
Put it on the list.
Put it on the list.
Let's put it on the list, huh?
Really
So
want-
just watch the whole Poohiverse?
I really want Pulse though. So
All right, I did not have time to get any interesting facts this week for this one. Did you guys have anything?
Nah,
no,
All right, should we jump into our reviews?
let's do it.
review it.
All right, Twan. Since you've seen it twice, why don't you start us off?
Yeah. So I I have seen it twice, but the first time I don't count. So it felt like I was watching this movie with fresh set of eyes. And this movie definitely had a lot more going for it than the first one. As we've said time and time again, everything from like character development, having an actual story, like a linear story. The practical effects were good. It just had a lot more substance than the first one. And yeah, with that being said, I gave this movie a C. It wasn't great, and I didn't hate it. Kind of in between. It's an hour and a half. Another quick watch. Would I recommend it to anyone? Only if you're already balls deep in the Poohniverse, watch it. But if you're not, you don't have to watch this movie. But again, like if you're a fan of horror and you like the obscure, parts of horror, give this movie a watch if you want. But yeah, C from me.
Say, why don't you go next?
I give this movie a C. I think they did better than last. I don't remember what I gave Blood and Honey 1, but I still give this movie a C. I think I remember the first time saying, like, who did they make this movie for? And this time, I know who they made this movie for. They made this movie for all the people that saw Blood and Honey 1 and wanted more and like better. I think it was definitely an improvement on the story, on the characters, on the costumes, the kills, just overall. Like it was overall definitely a better movie, and I'm happy with it. Like I enjoyed it. The first movie, it was definitely a slog. This one didn't feel too sloggy. It felt like I was enjoying it, and I laughed at parts that were funny, and I laughed at parts that were like, I don't know, it was just way more enjoyable for me this time. And maybe it was because I saw the first one and I knew what the first one was like, so then I knew like how to enjoy this movie. And so I recommend this movie if you're looking for like a silly, goofy fucking horror movie that has Winnie the Pooh in it. I think you're going to be entertained by something like this. I mean, you gotta it's a gore, it's a not a gore porn movie, but it's definitely gory. It's a gore fest for sure. Creature feature. If that's your cup of tea, then check this movie out. If not, then you're good with passing it. I am excited though to see the Pinocchio and the Peter Pan one though, because it seems like they're just getting better. So
Yeah.
I have high hopes for this team that's doing all these movies. And I'm sure your next movie is going to do great. And the movie after that's going to do even better. it's all uphill from here. So let's go.
Nice. So yeah, I'm right there with you guys. I did forgot to mention the Rotten Tomato scores last week for Life of Brian. So let me get that out of the way. So this movie has a 47% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 4.7 on IMDb, which is significantly better than Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey one. So I gave this movie, I'm like at a high C minus, low C on this one. I can't really tell. I guess, I'm a C. My enjoyment level was a C for sure. I think the quality of a movie is probably a C minus. But yeah, it's like everything you guys said. They did everything better this time around than they did the first time. I think, Say, you said it really good, where it feels that like a movie that was made for the people who saw the first one, and they're like, okay, cool, let's give you like a better product. I thought the acting was actually better than most movies of this quality. Like it actually, I was like impressed. Like, hey, especially the guy who played Christopher Robin, I thought he did a pretty good job. The gore, the kills are cool. The special effects are pretty good. The CGI was shit, but they usually get that with these types of movies. The story I thought was a lot better. Like there was a story. I do think the whole like Dr. Monroe little brother thing I didn't care for too much, but I did like the main troop, especially Al. I thought Al was like pretty sick and could have used a little bit more Al in the movie because he was, I thought, genuinely like a good bad guy character. Like he had that like creepy guy voice, which I really enjoyed. Would I recommend it? I would recommend it if you like B horror movies. I think this is a solid B horror movie. It's a good themed horror movie. We've covered 3 already on the pod with this one, Blood and Honey 1 and The Mean One. And I think this is the best of the bunch. And I wouldn't mind watching this movie. I feel like this is a good throw in the background of like a Halloween party. Like you got the TV in the garage or like the projector up and like everyone's mingling and shit. And you just got this random ass movie in the background. I feel like it's that kind of movie. It's solid. I would watch it again. It was an enjoyable hour 30. Yeah. So yeah, I'd recommend it. If you like these types of movies, it's worth your time, I think.
Nice.
That's a good for me, because I like doing stuff like that. Like you remember that Halloween party I had with movies on in the background. I like
Yeah, that was a sick party.
I like stuff like that, and so I think that's a good like reference point now that I think I'm gonna try to use. Like, would you put this on during a party, like just to have
It's a
in the
good background noise.
Like it's a good background noise movie for sure. Because you don't really have to pay attention too hard to understand what the hell's going on. Because it's a really easy story to follow.
Agreed. All right. Will time?
Wheel it up.
All right. Are we gonna add the Neverland one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Troll 2,
Oh yeah, and Troll 2. All right, I'll do that one first. It's easy.
1990 horror comedy. Do we have anything else?
I think that's it. Twan, did you have any?
Yeah. No.
You have one?
No, I don't have any this time.
You know what I think we're gonna get this time?
What? What's your call out?
I
Roar.
think we're gonna get Pulse.
I think
The Japanese horror movie. I think that we've been really good. The wheel's been great, and the wheel's gonna deliver a fucking banger ass horror movie next. Like not just like a B horror. It's gonna bring out like a fucking top tier horror movie like Pulse.
watch it suck. I think we're gonna get
like,
God
how do you
damn
know
it.
it's good?
God damn it.
I think we're gonna get a
Oh
drama.
no, it's on list, brother.
Yeah, a drama movie.
Yeah, it's
Let's see.
like it's known for being a really great Japanese horror movie.
I mean, the Japanese make some pretty solid horror movies, so I can't.
Dude.
I believe it. I mean, everything I've seen from them has been pretty crazy.
They've been through some wild stuff.
What do we get in? I
Attack
don't
of the
see
Killer Clowns.
Pulse
They Live?
anywhere. No, it's Blue Velvet. Boiler Room.
No, it's They Live.
They Live.
Damn, 6-minute fight scene.
They Live.
Let's go.
A true cult classic movie.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Have we all seen this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's been a minute. Actually,
No, we saw it on mushrooms at
we did. Yeah, we
at
did.
the bachelor party.
We did actually.
Damn.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this movie not on mushrooms, so we'll see how it is.
Yeah, I gotta break out my
Your
My They
mushroom?
Live action figures.
You have They Live action figures, bro?
Yeah, from Super 8.
Nice. I'm kind of happy with what the Will has chosen.
Yeah,
Oh
okay. It's
yeah, this is a
another.
good one.
Is this
Yeah.
a horror movie?
Sci-fi?
Sci-fi, yeah, sci-fi horror.
Sci-fi, political commentary. It's a good movie. It's a good
Yeah.
movie. With Roddy Piper.
Yep.
Fuck yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us this week as we covered our first sequel of the pod, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. We all gave it a C. We liked it a lot more than the first one. This is another tenuous recommend. It seems like if you're into these type of movies, check it out. If you're interested in like the Winnie the Pooh verse, check it out. Definitely, you do not need to watch the first movie to watch this movie. Like, you don't, just start with this one. If you decide to watch either of these movies, just start with this one. The first one is garbage, so don't even bother with it. But next week we'll be covering one of the cult classics of all cult classics, John Carpenter's They Live. This is our second Carpenter film, fourth Carpenter film of this, because we did The Thing,
And then we did
Into the Mouth of Madness.
Yeah. So this is our third.
Our third Carpenter film.
Yeah.
Our third Carpenter film of the pod. I love John Carpenter, so I'm very excited. We've all seen this movie, so it'll be interesting. It'll be my second time watching it. So
My
I'm
second time.
hyped. Oh, nice.
My like third, fourth time.
Say his third or seventh time watching it,
Yeah.
which should be good. Last time I saw it was on Mushroom, so we'll see how it is this time around.
Record on mushroom.
But thank you guys for joining us. If you want to support the pod, you can do so by clicking the donation link at the bottom of each episode. But if you can't support, that's totally cool. We love making the pod. We love joining you guys each week. If you haven't done so already, give us a follow on our social medias. We are on Instagram, TikTok, X/Twitter, Facebook, Threads, YouTube, and now we are live on Twitch.
Hello, Twitch.
So if you guys want to see us on our Twitch, we'll get a schedule together. We haven't had one yet. We gotta things are a little hectic this February.
Watch us slosh our bodies around on Twitch.
But as always, I've been your host, The Dale, followed by my two co-hosts, Mr. Saya
Adios.
and Twan.
Bye.
Catch you guys next week. Bye.